We want competent people coming into our country. And HB1, I know the program very well. I use the program. Maitre d's, wine, experts, even waiters, high quality waiters. You got to get the best people.
I mean, what would America do when we need high quality waiters and we don't have something like the H-1B visa program? Okay, look, President Donald Trump has come out yet again to declare his support, his love for the H-1B visa program, which he claims to know a lot about. But that clip you just watched proves otherwise. And that's a problem when he's the guy who just won the presidential election in large part due to his stance on immigration. Lately, H-1B visas, or the Skilled Foreign Worker Program, has sparked a massive debate between Trump's billionaire tech bro donors and the populist wing of the MAGA movement. The America First MAGA crowd rightly wants to protect American jobs for American workers, and they've noticed that these visa programs are being abused to their detriment. On the other hand, tech bros like Elon Musk not only rely on H-1B visas, they're willing to go to war with MAGA to maintain or even expand the program. Now, originally H-1B visas were designed to alleviate labor shortages in scientific and technological fields by, bringing over foreigners of distinguished merit and ability. The skilled worker program that offers H-1B visas currently has a cap of 65,000 per year, a number that technology companies have pushed to increase. Elon Musk is known to use the program at his companies. In fact, Tesla has obtained 724 H-1B visas in 2024. Now, Trump, on the other hand, mostly uses H-2B and H-2A visas for his businesses, not H-1B visas. H-2B visas are for non-agricultural unskilled labor, all the jobs that he kind of lists there with the exception of sommeliers, and H-2A visas pertain to agricultural workers. Now, according to Labor Department data, from 2003 to 2017, Trump's companies were approved for more than 1,000 H-2B visas for jobs like cooks, housekeepers, and waiters at his properties, including Mar-A-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, and the Trump National Golf Club in Jupiter, Florida. In each instance, his companies had to attest that there were no American citizens who could perform those jobs. Let's pause for laughter because that's ridiculous. Now, the president also benefits from foreign labor that legally enters the country and works in the country with H-2B visas. Currently, Trump's winery in Charlottesville, Virginia is seeking 31 foreign vineyard workers, farm workers specifically, under the H-2A program, offering them $15.81 per hour. So look, Trump probably should have a better grasp of the different foreign worker programs before offering his defensive H-1Bs. But Trump seems to keep making the same mistake. In fact, not too long ago, when this whole H-1B visa debate began, he took Elon Musk's side in touting the visas, telling reporters that I have many H-1B visas on my properties. I've been a believer in H-1B. I have used it many times. It's a great program. But is it? Is it a great program? Like, we've already determined that he's mixing up the H-1, the visa programs. He's not using H-1B, we know that. But is the H-1B program a great program? Look, I think it could be if reformed to close certain loopholes that actually do harm American workers. Because even though H-1Bs have some safeguards allegedly to protect American workers, corporate executives have found the loopholes and they are using them to their advantage. Research from the Economic Policy Institute found that major employers, especially those in Silicon Valley, are using H-1B and similar visa programs to depress wages. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Meta used the scheme in order to legally pay many of their H-1B workers below the local median wage for the jobs they fill. Just how much are we talking about here? How much are they depressing wages? Well, there have been some studies in that as well. And economists from the University of Michigan and the University of California, San Diego found that tech worker wages would have been as much as 5.1% higher in the absence of H-1B visa workers in the same field. Reporter Li Fang detailed specific companies and how they abuse the system in a piece that he wrote for Unheard, writing that Meta, for instance, is classified H-1B dependent over its unusually high foreign visa workforce. The government found that Meta discriminated against American workers, refusing to recruit, consider, or hire qualified Americans for more than 2,600 jobs. The Department of Justice, however, ended the issue with a slap on the wrist penalty of $14.25 million, or a mere 0.016% of company revenue. Meta is far from the only company caught doing this, by the way. In October, a jury found that Cognizant engaged in systemic discrimination against American workers in favor of thousands of South Asian workers on H-1B visas. The trial unearthed damaging facts about the system, namely that Cognizant gamed the visa lottery process with fake applications and sought to depress wages with visa-dependent foreign talent. A former director of that very firm said that the entire business model is built on the back of cheap Indian labor. The people who are on visas are the people Cognizant wants. While these problems absolutely do need to be addressed, I also believe that it would be a misguided overcorrection to entirely get rid of the H-1B visa program, because it turns out that America currently is suffering from shortages of labor in several professions. So let's talk a little bit about that. First, let's watch this.
Entire fields like nursing, teaching, and construction can't find enough workers. Let's break it down by field. The American Health Association reports 600,000 nurses plan to leave the field by 2027. Data from the National Center for Educational Statistics says the average public school has 2 vacant teaching positions, and that 4% of all public school teaching positions across the country were empty. Even the construction industry will need another 540,000 workers on top of the normal pace of hiring to meet the demand for labor, according to the Associated Builders and Contractors. More and more, these professions are turning to apprenticeship programs to help fill the gaps created by labor shortfalls. And with what experts are calling a manufacturing supercycle on the horizon, the US economy is quickly approaching a make or break moment.
Not very many high school students think about a career in the trades.
Labor shortages in the healthcare industry are particularly concerning. There's already a shortage of registered nurses, and it's about to get worse due to the fact that many nurses are set for retirement soon. According to the Health Resources and Services Administration, nationally, there is a projected shortage of 78,610 full-time equivalent RNs, registered nurses, in 2025. The 10 states with the largest projected shortage in 2035 are Washington at 26%, Georgia at 21%, California 18%, Oregon 16%, Michigan and Idaho both at 15%, Louisiana and North Carolina both at 13%, followed by New Jersey at 12% and South Carolina at 11%. So while the H-1B visa program is definitely being abused and is in desperate need of reforms, any changes made by Trump might be misguided, especially if he has no idea who the visas apply to, what they do, or which programs he himself benefits from for his own businesses. So something to keep an eye on. I think that this debate within the right wing of our political spectrum is a really interesting debate to focus on, because it does show that tension, that conflict between the donor class and the actual voters. The voters see the problems that come along with this system that has loopholes that are being abused by these tech billionaires. But at the same time, these tech billionaires are the very individuals who are heavily funding Donald Trump's campaign. They heavily funded his inauguration. They were very much present on Inauguration Day, having the best seats at the House. And so I'm very curious to see what the reaction will be from the MAGA base that is very much against the abuses of these H-1B visa programs, right? So we'll see how this all plays out. But I'm getting a sense that they're getting a taste of what Democratic voters have been dealing with for multiple election cycles in a row now. The donors want things that conflict with what Democratic voters want. And so once these Democrats get elected, they break their promises to their voters in order to serve their donors. And that has really hurt Democrats electorally. I think that the same thing could happen with Republicans if they continue allowing the corruption to guide their policy. Donald Trump went from being pretty hard on immigration, wanting to not just rein in illegal immigration, but rein in forms of legal immigration as well. And now all of a sudden you're hearing him celebrate H-1B visas, even going so far as to claiming that he himself has benefited from it when he hasn't. He uses a different set of visa programs for his own businesses. So we'll see how it plays out. I think it's an interesting debate. I think that those who are concerned about the abuses are making good points, but I don't want to get rid of the program altogether, especially when you consider the fact that we do have labor shortages here in the US.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.